Testing, 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me, Clay? Good. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Welcome to the Brownspade show. Today we're gonna have some fun today. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. Today, the subject: strays versus domestic. Strays versus domestic. And so we're just waiting on our guests to pop on in. They have the we're just waiting on them. They've already got the invite. What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I was reading an article on Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, they trying to what is that HBCU Howard?
Howard.
Yeah, Howard trying to give her a hard time. That's what I'm saying. We have
Well,
to stop.
I don't think it's Howard. I think it's
The sponsors of Howard putting the pressure on the school.
Just people that's on social media.
No, I think it's Howard.
Is it? Well, I didn't get a chance to finish reading the whole article. But I know she made a statement and then they made a statement.
So for her to make a statement, that means somebody said something to her, because
Yeah.
she's not just addressing people off the street.
No.
She don't owe them any explanation.
No, she don't. But the crazy thing is they drop all charges.
Well, that's not the point.
But that's my point.
No, I understand your point. I'm talking
like,
about
because they had no proof. So he it's crazy. But
yeah,
I just was reading that and I just was laughing because we execute, our
well, we don't. The thing of it is, people they violated him as far as following the law, and that's what people get caught up in. People have to understand that with propaganda, people can make. I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty, but I'm just saying he went in for one particular thing, and they started trying to tag other things along with it. That was when, from what I'm hearing, is that was when they kind of violated the law and the agreement, because he made an agreement with the prosecutor. But because it was such a high profile case, they started tagging in other stuff that happened, 20, 30 years ago, which I think is ridiculous. I don't think nobody should be, I mean, unless it's like murder or something, because that's like some third grade girl saying, yeah, he felt, he touched my booty walking in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you could do that.
Yeah. It's something. I I just I was reading and I was like, wow. Even after because I already know it's going. He would never be back. As far as in the media's eyes as one of our great you know um actors,
Reputation.
activists, or whatever you want to call it. He would never be that.
Reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tarnished. There's
Oh
no
yeah.
coming back. Once when you get
It's,
a stain
it's
on you,
only a
it's
few.
a
It's
wrap.
only a few that I've seen come back from that. It's only a
Yeah.
few, and we
Well, I
have
sent
the power.
everybody.
We have the power to, to control that. But we just go with whatever the media say. We go if it's on Facebook or if it's on the internet. We 9 times out of 10 we gonna follow it and we gonna stick with it.
I'm getting
Yeah,
this
we
weak
just
signal again. I hope this be. Yeah, yeah. I know it keep popping out. We had some strong rain come in, and again, I don't have the Wi-Fi. It'll work.
yeah.
We're gonna make it do what it do. Just waiting on the ladies to come in.
But yeah, I just was reading an article and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But again, that's what he got him on. He got him on the law, and that's another thing people have to respect. It's called due process.
Oh yeah.
And if the prosecutor didn't follow the rules or the laws, then and if that's a technicality, then that's what he got him on. I mean, it's not like he broke himself out of jail.
Yeah, you freezing. Dang.
Oh man. There you go. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, can you see me?
I can see you.
Huh? Okay.
I can see.
Hey.
Hey y'all. Hey.
What's going on, Miss Mo?
Not
Welcome
much. How you been?
All
Been
right.
good, been good.
That's good. Markeisha coming. Hold on a minute.
All right.
Let me turn my phone on. Do not disturb.
I want to be like Mo when I grow up.
What? Oh, just out here.
Traveling.
I'm outside.
Just traveling.
You be going to Cleveland. Stop playing. So you be going.
Yeah. I'm ready to go somewhere now.
You need these. You need blinds closed. Hey,
what's going on?
How's it going?
It's going great. How you been?
I'm good. How you been?
Chilling.
You think we should close these blinds? How it look to y'all?
Look good.
This one.
Yeah, y'all looking good.
Okay. Hold on. I got a little sprout in here.
How much did Mo have to pay you to get you to come on?
Oh, she owes me a lot, but we ain't gonna talk about it. We are not gonna talk about it. How you been?
I've been good. I've been great. How about yourself?
No major complaints at all, except for this crazy traffic.
Yeah.
Let me exit messages right quick. Hold on, y'all. I want to make sure I don't get all this stuff. These pop-ups. And what we talking about?
Okay. Today we're talking about strays versus domesticated.
Okay. And what that mean? Like what I mean, define. Yeah, please.
Okay, you want some clarity. Okay, so let me break it.
Because unless y'all just want to do the clarity on air, we be looking at y'all like we live already.
We live now.
Oh, you know how that's doing it really?
Live right now.
Right now.
This is why people right now. I'm just playing. Y'all got me smoothing my hair with water on camera. Y'all better. What was that? Oh, Daniel does sound effects. So like, if he don't like what we saying, he gonna like do it the won't, that kind of stuff. All right. This shall be interesting. It shall be. Y'all gonna edit that for real? Don't do that. Right?
No editing. No, we don't do no editing over here.
Tell us y'all.
We started at 5.
Not when you've been late before, and you too.
Hey,
see, where's
listen, that's old stuff. You talking about old stuff. This is the new. This is the new. This is the new Brownspade.
What a shit!
That was COVID. That was COVID. We out of COVID now.
Okay, bye y'all.
Oh, that's don't do that.
They so messy.
Okay. Y'all ready?
We ready.
Okay. So we have two lovely guests with us today. We have Miss Mo and we have Miss Keish.
That's right, Keish. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Miss Keish. All right. And today's topic is strays versus domesticated. So now the ladies want to know, okay, could you specify more on that? So when we're talking about strays, we don't mean it in a derogatory way. We're just meaning like, are you, let's say, marriage material, or let's say a person who is in and out of relationship, that's considered a stray. Okay. Strays would be somebody who always moving away. They aimlessly go from one group to another, or one course or place from another. That's what a stray is. Domesticated, we pretty much should know what that is, right? Somebody who is, ready to settle down, wifey like, domesticated. And there's nothing wrong with being a stray, because again,
in between. Right, I was just about to ask the same thing. What about in between?
Well, that's what we're about to talk about. So we're about to have a good conversation.
And don't act brand new with us, Daniel, because you got them new glasses on. Okay, don't act.
They just readers. We just
saying don't act all too sophisticated.
I'm like those small letters. I have to put something on just so I can see. All right. So let's talk about it. So since we got Miss Mo on here, she's new, y'all. She's new, so we're gonna start with her first. Okay, so how would you classify yourself? Are you a stray? Or are you domesticated?
Oh, you jumping right in. I can be all three actually, but I'm in the. I'm definitely. If you
hold on, wait.
Depends on the time of day.
What is the third one? Hold on now. Wait a minute.
What's the in between? Like, so you can be very well marriage material, but not ready to be married.
Well, I said stray or domesticated.
Okay.
That don't necessarily mean you're married.
No, you said, what's your definition of domesticated? You said marriage material, though.
Yes, they're like accustomed to home life. You know, somebody who is settled in, not necessarily married. They just, more homely, more.
So I repeat, I repeat, I'm all of the above. I'm Steve.
So you're married and a stray.
Because I'm like, by your definition, because I'm not homely. I'm not the homebody type. I'm not the, go to work, come home, that type. Like right now, I'm unemployed and just doing whatever I want to do every day. But for me, I feel like stray can have a negative connotation, but in my sense, because you're only giving those two choices and not giving me a in between, I'm going to say I can do both, because I can be like free-spirited, floating around, doing whatever I please, and that is not a negative thing to me. And I can also have my time, my downtime, where I do want to be home and more domesticated in that sense. You know what I mean?
Where are you right now?
I'm at home right now because we're on this podcast. But if we weren't, I wouldn't be home.
How would you classify yourself right now?
But that's what I'm saying, because I know you want a one or the other answer, but you're just not gonna get that from me though. Because I'm not I'm just saying, I know what you want, but I'm not gonna say I'm domesticated, because I'm not in the traditional sense a domesticated woman. I'm simply not.
Right.
So okay.
I'm definitely still, and that does not make me not marriage material either.
I didn't say no. That's not what. No.
I'm just saying. I'm just adding to the conversation.
Let me say, domesticated is much more easier to. Is heading toward that way of marriage. Is that safe to say?
I still don't think so either. I think that's putting everyone in a box to have to be like as if marriage is K through 12 and you go through several courses and you like right there, domesticated is grade 12 and you're about to graduate. You know what I'm saying? Into marriage. I don't look at it that way. I feel like everybody's journey is different, and how they get to marriage is up to them and the person who wants to marry them. Because every man doesn't want a tamed, very calm, neat, domesticated type.
We don't do we gonna do majority.
Okay, and I'm gonna say majority because I date men. I don't know what y'all do. I date men. So I just know what they looking for. I'm not married because of choice. I've been proposed to. I've been asked to be exclusive and, whatever. So I know that who I am and how I show up is a person that men want to be exclusive and want to marry. Okay. I didn't want to have children.
Let me go here.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, to her point, most of the times the guys that are attracted to us are because we are not just homely.
Right.
We have a lot of variety in what we like to do. They see that we're having fun. We're having a good time. We like to travel. We do different stuff. And we're not, I'm just going to say, quote unquote, typical, so it runs the gamut.
It's burning Queen to know. What you got to say?
I'm just majority of men, they, when you talk about strays, they typically try to stay away from that because of what strays is considered. And whether you consider the dating market or whether just in the United States. Because if you look at it,
how do you define it?
Yeah, you define it as what now?
I mean, to me, a person
which one you refer to?
And I don't wanna use, well, I will use this. It's just like if you have a pet.
And if you're in relationships, you're stray.
But see, I think that's the issue, is that you all are making the spectrum of what
that is one definition of a stray. That is one.
I know what you're saying, but you're still, I feel like, making the description of women that men are looking for two polar opposites and not even entertaining the middle ground of someone who's well-rounded in both. Like it's not, it doesn't have to be either or.
Okay,
doesn't
let
have
me go to
be
Keish.
simple,
Let me go to Keish.
traditional
Keish,
and
let me go to Miss Keish for a second. Let me
Okay.
talk to her. Okay, how do you classify yourself?
Well, I mean, I really agree with what she's saying. I don't think I fit onto either end of the spectrum either. It's not as black and white as what you're saying. I'm
Okay,
not. I'm multifaceted.
Are you in a relationship right now?
No, not a committed relationship.
Okay.
No.
And when was the last time you was in a relationship?
About 6 months ago.
Okay. And the time before that?
Well, that lasted for a while. But prior to that, maybe 2 years before that started.
Okay. So the 6 months, the one you had 6 months ago, how long was that relationship?
About 3 years.
Okay. But you're single now.
Yes.
Okay. So you was domesticated and now you're straight.
Well, you using that term is still kind of throwing me off though. Cause I mean, I don't define myself as domesticated or a stray.
Well, you just said I agree with what she said. I'm a combination of both. This is what you said. So
meaning last when you was in a relationship, what would you consider yourself then?
She was domesticated.
A woman in a relationship.
Right. I was in a relationship. I'm not, I guess the terms is throwing me off.
Why?
She don't like these terms.
No. How do you guys define yourselves?
Me?
I'm domesticated.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always been that way. I mean, I've always
when you were single, you were domesticated.
Yes.
No, when I was single, I was a straight.
Not me. No.
Not me.
No, I'm just saying, not me.
So how do you define stray? I'm just curious.
Okay. Me or him? Me or them?
Cleveland.
Just
your version.
For instance, if you're in a relationship and you're committed to this person, you and this person, y'all in a committed relationship. And let's use social media, for example. Let's use social media. When you go on a person's page, typically if they're in a committed relationship and they are actually dating with a purpose and everything, then you're gonna see pictures of them. You're gonna see pictures of her man or his girl or whatever. You'll see those pictures, and you will understand and know that this person is in a relationship. Mm-hmm. But if you out here straying, you're not gonna see no pictures of this person, but you're gonna see pictures of this person. The person who page it is, she's gonna be turning around showing most of her pictures is this and that and this. It's almost like she's still dating, but she's in a relationship. To me, that's one way of women out here or male out here straying. Because men can stray as well.
Yeah,
they can stray as well. But if I'm in a relationship, you're gonna know I'm in a relationship. You don't have to guess. You just don't. Not to say I'm a post-it. Hey, I'm in a relationship, but the way I move. In the way I communicate with people, they're gonna know. You can walk up to a person and get body language and know they're in a relationship. I have hugged women. They be like, you hug me like I'm your cousin or something. You gave me that church. I mean, you just know. But that's one way, that I look at it straight, because men do the same. They stray away as well. But I've never been.
She wrestled with the term because it's never been presented to her like this. I think that's pretty much what it is, right?
Well, that is true, but it also it really does kind of have a negative connotation about it, because
no, but that's
a private person.
I'm not using it in a derogatory way. When you ask me when I was single, I'm married now. I was single, I was out there straying. I was giving it to him. I was breaking them back. I was giving it to him.
But see, that's not what every single person does, and that everyone who's not open to relating.
Okay, so again, if you ask me what am I today, I'm domesticated.
Yeah,
when I was single, if you ask me the question, I would say I'm a stray.
Right. And so
I don't have a problem with saying that.
To add on to your conversation, the only reason I have a problem with it, like I'll say that if I have to use your terms, like I said, I can do both. I am willing. I'm single and can do that. However, I feel like you're missing an opportunity to see that there is another option. You know what I'm saying? There is another option that doesn't have to be straying, breaking backs out here wilding. Because straying is attached to wilding, from what I'm hearing from you guys. Like, you may not be saying that
the way you just defined.
I was speaking from my point of view.
Right. So that's your point of view. But like, if you don't break it down to say that,
when I was single, I was saying that was what I was doing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what you was doing. I'm not saying every single person does it. That's why I'm asking you. That's why I asked you guys one at a time. How do you classify yourself? I'm not putting anybody in a box. I'm not trying to give it a negative meaning behind it. It's just that we're just saying, how do you present yourself? Which one of today?
I would still define myself as a combination.
It's not you've been domesticated. You've been in a relationship. You've been in a relationship. So we've all been domesticated at some point. But our question is, where are you today? Today, you will not be classified as domesticated because you're not in a relationship.
So why not just say, are you in a relationship or are you fully single?
So now
what word is strange to me? Like, domesticated has a negative connotation to me. Like, I don't really like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, people do.
One minute, guys. Hey, Erica, we gotta speak to Erica.
Hey.
I'm just listening. I'm trying to get caught up on what y'all talking about.
Strays versus domesticated.
Now explain to me exactly what is a stray. Is a stray a hoe?
No.
It's kind of confusing, right, Erica?
No.
I mean, because I kind of came in when Daniel was talking about when he was single and he was out there and he was breaking them bags. So that just sound like you out there wilding and hoeing and getting up and everything that moved pretty much. So
no. Again.
So, but then I kind of heard Monifa where it was like, you don't have to do that if you're a stray. Because when I was single, I wasn't like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I wasn't like that at all. Whenever I was not in a relationship, I just took that time for myself to get myself better for whoever was going to be next that I allowed in my life. So to each his own, kind of what Daniel was saying. But at the same time, yeah, you was just out there hoeing Daniel, that's all. But it's all good, player. It's all good.
So listen. Let me say. Erica.
And I expect the same. You know, a lot of y'all holding back. You know what I'm saying? Get your hand out, get your panties out your butt, and let's talk.
Listen. Let me say this. I think also how we can better define it would be traditional or modern, because most of the things that on the straight side is a lot, what you see from the modern men and women, and then vice versa on the other side for traditional. So
go ahead.
No. So I was gonna say, would you consider yourself a traditional women or modern women?
And even I'm both. Like, you don't have to be like that. The work, for real, I can be both. Like, let me give you an example, Cleveland. Like, I see a lot of either or all the time on social media and everywhere else presented. But if you look at my life and I can run it down, I've never had to be always either or and still get blessed, still have a happy life, still, increase in different ways, still have joy, happiness. So I don't feel like you have to be. There's some things I can take from the traditional woman, and there's some things I can take from modern. Because if I was just all the way traditional, because y'all not all the way traditional men, you may think you are, but you're not. There's some ways that a woman leads, and traditionally a woman never led. You know what I'm saying? But there are opportunities where you will listen more to a woman now today than a man back in the day ever would have.
What would make a man not be traditional?
The fact that y'all ain't even working with y'all hands like that on a daily basis is not traditional. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of men who are not working with their hands.
A lot of y'all don't need damn work.
Technology. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like she was talking about, like back in the day, it was more factory jobs or just people that work with their hands, whether they were plumbers or mechanics.
Them jobs still exist.
They do, but I'm saying that's not.
They do, but they're not as prevalent as now.
That's one element of being a traditional man. Another being very handy, and a lot of men aren't handy, and that's fine. But it's just some elements of tradition are not there. Like for instance, some men don't. They're traditional men. If you're all the way traditional, your woman does not work. Period.
Okay.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
What you
Yes, that is true. Yes, that is true.
That's not true.
Yes, that is true. Yes, that is true.
What year? Y'all some of the 90s? Like what tradition you talking about?
Who were the nurses and teachers and stuff back when our grandparents in them was living? Who was the teachers and the nurses?
I don't know, because my grandmother didn't work and she taught them at home.
But
so
who was the teachers and the nurses?
Really?
She was the damn teacher. My grandmother was the teacher.
Erica, we're talking about back in time. I'm
talking about traditional times back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Who were the teachers and the nurses?
Everything under care and child rearing was a woman's place tradition.
Was a woman's place, and she was at home. She did not work.
And everybody's wife right now is not a teacher or a nurse. So
or a caretaker.
Or a
but
caretaker.
How are you again though? How are you defining tradition now?
Say that again.
How are you defining traditional?
As far as men?
Period. You just asked for be traditional or not. So how are you defining it?
Well, to me, traditional women are see, it comes to knowing a man's knowing his role as far as traditional and a woman knowing her role as far as traditional. As a man, head of the household, communicate as far as taking control of the household, leadership, working, making sure the house is ran properly how it should, whether it's finance, whether it's discipline. Like those are things that settles to me as traditional when it comes to a household. Now, when it comes to the woman, it's she follows her man lead. Not to say that she doesn't control what goes on in the household, but the man is basically the head of the household, and she follows his lead, whether it's raising the kids, paying the bills,
the family.
Yes. To me, that's traditional, but that's not what we see today. Now, as far as me, I am a traditional man. I am. I mean, I was raised like that. I was raised to be a traditional man. Now it's a lot of things with the technology that have changed men from being able to continue to, like you say, work with your hands and up, because the job back then that was paying to help run a household or help pay the bills, those jobs, they are dying. They're dying away. But men still are doing them, but they don't typically pay. Everybody's going to the office. Everybody's doing corporate. But that was designed and planned, in order to get, because we can't even create jobs no more. Like I could do landscaping. I drive trucks. I could do several things. It's some things I don't do, but it's a lot of things I can do. But the modern man was invented by the modern woman.
I'm very.
No.
I was saying the same thing. Like
yes. The modern man was invented by the modern woman. Listen, y'all wanted to be equal to men, right? Y'all wanted the same pay. Y'all wanted the same equality as far as jobs and to be treated, get the same amount of pay and be treated exactly like the men. So y'all wanted that. And that's what you see now. Because now y'all making, some of y'all, not all y'all, but some of y'all are making more than men. And as far as opportunities, y'all get the same opportunity as men. So guess what? The men have stepped back.
If not more.
Because they don't want to compete.
If not more opportunity.
They don't want to compete. But this is what y'all wanted. This is what modern women wanted.
Say it again. They stepped
so
back.
They don't compete because they're intimidated by women doing the same type of work and making the same amount of money.
No, I'm not talking about work. I'm just talking about opportunities. I'm talking about opportunities. Whether it's work, whether it's for instance, if you look at it, like these kids, men nowadays, they will be willing to sit at home and allow the women to work and take care of them. They will.
Not a real man.
And you're saying that's because we created that?
But that's because this is, y'all wanted to be equal as far as pay, and because a lot of women have taken over the job market from men.
So what? So just because we wanted to get equal pay and be respected, like for doing the same type of work, then that gives you all an excuse to be like, oh, okay, well, you got it, I'm gonna let you do it. And I'm stay home.
We was never getting top pay, Erica. We never got top pay.
It don't matter. It don't. Go ahead, Mo.
I was saying, but a traditional man isn't one. To me, there was a certain bravado in traditional men. There was a certain kind of the way they, confidence and all of that. So they don't step away from a woman like just because women have entered the job market now. It's like, oh, I'm stepping back.
Right.
That's not what traditional. Man,
if that's innately who you are as a person, you're not going to step back from that.
No, exactly. I understand, but also it's a lot of things that also come into play with the modern man. As far as with these young men, they don't see what a traditional man looks like. You know why? Because most of them are coming from single parent homes.
Right. So that's a systemic problem, though.
So that's
That's a systemic problem, though. That wasn't something that women created. That was created by society as a whole. I don't think that was just something because women got equal rights that it affected men.
That's a part of it, but women actually. Okay.
Women aren't on a regular basis the head of anything. So if we don't control even in this modern world, we are not the majority CEOs. We're not the majority in corporate hiring forces. We are at middle level management. But when you look at executive boards and things like that, that's still run by men.
Right.
The world's still run by men. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff has shifted.
So it's
because
I agree. But in our community, in the Black community, that's not us. When y'all want to equal opportunity, equal job opportunity, did y'all think y'all was going to be equul to
right? That wasn't a Black person that did that though.
That's what I'm saying. So when y'all was listen, when y'all was fighting for that, it was not y'all wasn't fighting for job for management jobs from.
Let me make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. So are you saying that if we are in the workforce, and yes, let's say we are doing very similar jobs, we as women, Black, brown, yellow, whatever, we should not be asking for equal pay?
No, I'm not. Listen, the thing is, when of course, when y'all came into the job market and wanted to work, right?
Right.
When y'all came into the job market, y'all wasn't coming to replace white America. Y'all was coming to replace Black American, black men. And of course, they're going to pay you less to do the same job. They're going to pay you less, right? Is that not right? They're going to pay you less, right? No, so being that they pay y'all less, they're going to give you more opportunities to get these jobs because they can get the same amount of work done and pay you less money. And women didn't understand that that's what they was doing. And so guess what? When y'all started flooding the job market, then on top of that, you had men who was overseas, who was fighting in the Vietnam War, who came home to no jobs, but they gave y'all the job because they can pay y'all less to do the exact job. And that's what they did. But y'all thought that coming into the job market, y'all said y'all want to be equal to men. What men were you referring to? Because it wasn't us who was up here. We was here.
Let's rewind a little bit because y'all keep saying y'all. We weren't even around.
No, I'm talking about women.
I'm just saying let's clear it up though, because there are different reasons of why women came to the job force. The war was one of them. And it was in the 60s.
Exactly.
And black women in the 60s, y'all keep saying y'all, but I want to make a distinction that black women in the 60s weren't powerful like that and flooding the market and getting the jobs that were the white men were leaving. You see what I'm saying?
No.
That's what was happening when that's when women's liberation movement started. So that is something that was not even our fight as black people. You know what I'm saying? Because neither one of us was respected around that time when that started. That had nothing to do with it. That wasn't for us. That was for them.
So that's what I'm saying. So me saying that is when they came into the workforce, it was when y'all was wanting, equal pay and equal opportunities or whatever. It took away from the black family. It took away from the black family because, of course, they was going to give you.
What are you talking about? You talking about like in the 70s? Because you can't be talking about like in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
I'm talking about late 60s going into the 70s.
But okay, but so we have the war here. That's going on. A lot of our black men, brothers, husbands were over there. So we had to make ends meet at home.
And we had to go do the factory job. We had to go out here and play baseball and do all this other stuff that men would normally do. So then when the men came back, everything was still kind of, going afloat. And then that's when they somewhat took the jobs back. Like we went back to doing whatever some did, not all, but some did.
Which again says that this was a system problem.
It wasn't that we were like raising our hands.
A system problem. But my question to you now though is, what are you saying that we should have done? Since you're saying that we took the jobs and whatever, what are you saying should have been done?
it should have been understanding that black men and black women are we're in the same boat. So being that, see, it wasn't recognized that black women came to do the same job. Y'all just was happy to work, not understanding that they wasn't going to pay you for the job you was doing. They just wasn't because you were women.
That's not true. There were a lot of women who knew they were getting, like we've always, you give it, I think you're looking at it in a different way. Black community always knew they were getting paid less than the white counterparts, period. Even when they had to go clean houses and do things like that to help because they did that because of the black man not getting the equal pay that he should have been getting for his job.
Okay.
And they didn't do that. They didn't just say, I'm stepping out of the house, because back then they were traditional women who were led by their men, and the men led them to go get the cleaning jobs. If you watch some of the documentaries and stuff like that, it was like they told them go to work. They drop them off. And tell them stay late, get some more hours. You see what I'm saying? Because we needed to work to help the household. Because one thing that wasn't talked about then, which is a more modern thing and to me helpful, is, controlling how many children you bring into the world. Because that made it more tough too. You see what I'm saying? So that there had to be more income. And
the man also was taken out of the household. So that also hurt. But
even before then, it was when they were still in the household, there was still a great separation of white people's wages and black people's wages, and that will be for a while because
it's always been that way.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So it's not that women were like raising their hand like I want to go to work, because to this day, it's a lot of women, when we talk amongst ourselves, we don't want to work now. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all act like that was a prize or something. Working in a prize.
So find you a traditional man, you don't have to work.
There's a caveat to that, though.
Always is.
And the caveat is lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because this is 2021, and I'm just going to be honest and say, because this is not something we should have to do for the sake of having, like, some women are willing to trade not working to decrease in lifestyle or to struggle. I'm just not one.
You said some are?
Some are, yeah. Some women do that. Some women are homemakers. Not to say all of them do that, but some women are okay. And it's not always a struggle, but it's adapting to a more stringent budget at times. And some women do that even to this day. You know what I'm saying? And that's all.
I honestly think it's a form of control for me. I don't
think it's control, Erica. I think, because some women honestly don't want to work.
It's not a form of control. Some female value their family and they'll take that sacrifice versus Because again,
it can be a form of control. Like it can be both. Yeah.
Hold on. If you take the mother out the home, and then that is what also bring problems. That's what Miss Keish was saying. It's systematic. So when it extract the mother out the home, not saying we don't want you to work anything like that, but when it takes the mother out the home, who is there to watch the kids? Because now the kids are easily to get involved in other things such as drugs and gangs. Your daughter being pregnant, you know what I'm saying? Things along that nature. Nobody trying to hold you back, but it is, I do agree with like Keisha about it is a systemic way about doing things, because
it definitely is.
Some kind of way we're dropping the ball, we're losing, because if you look at every other ethnic group, yeah, you have their other females that in other ethnic groups work, but they're not dealing with the same kind of issues that we're dealing with.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
I'm trying to
say something, Erica.
You don't want me to say now. I'll just play.
I want you to let
so lady, listen, don't get me wrong. I understand that when we was talking about strays and domesticated and everything, but it's on both ends, because men do the same thing. But my point of saying what I said was that the modern man was the modern man exists because of the modern woman allows him to exist. Basically what I was saying. And that's because a lot we have gotten away so far from tradition that we feel like that's a bad thing. And I think that's where the stray and the domesticated comes in at, because like you said, it's like a bad, connotation when you say stray. But from what I see, it's like stray is being motivated and pushed. Like I see more of that being pushed and rewarded. Yeah, girl, and yeah, do your thing, go out here and date who you could date and get all the men. I see a lot of that more than I see people pushing more towards domesticated, which is traditional type of women, a lifestyle. And it's on men and women. Men the same thing. They push more towards the dude being trifling, not going out here hitting a 9 to 5, actually putting in the work to better himself. I see more guys walking around here talking about they rappers and than anything. Not to say that you can't make a living in rapping, but that's a small percentage of people who make that, rather than a man who's actually trying to build, perfectly retiring from a company or building get his own business. I see more people motivating more towards that than what we consider to be domesticated or tradition. If y'all understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I could also be on the flip side and say, because I know I hear so often that women are basically empowering, I'll say your term, the modern man. Men are also empowering the same exact women they swear they don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you cannot find like, for instance, I know we've had conversations before where like the sagging pants and all that. Men say, hey, if women wouldn't accept that, men wouldn't do it, right? So on the flip side, there are things that you all are saying or may see negative that a woman does that men actually condone that in a sense. And if you are leaders as men, then lead in both sense. Lead the men in your community and also lead the women. If that, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to lead.
I agree with you, Mo. Ultimately,
I agree.
It starts with us. Ultimately, it starts with us as men.
It does. I agree. And at the same time,
that's why we come up. That's why we brought this subject out: the strays versus domesticated. Mm-hmm. So the strays, we're gonna have to let them stay astray, because unless they want to be domesticated,
well, yeah, y'all embrace strays. But yeah, a lot of men, and I can't say a lot because I don't do a poll, but there are men who embrace and accept strays even while pretending to be domesticated.
But you always
married men, still welcome those type of women who will commit adultery with them.
Well, you can say that if you go out here on weekends, you see a lot of sisters you won't think they're married.
It's on both
ends. What I'm saying,
it's
but
on both ends.
I hear so many men always listen to the women though. Talk to your brothers. Y'all always or often on social media and everything else.
That's how you're taking it. No. That's how you're taking it. We're not.
I can read and see. I'm a visual person. I can read and comprehend and see. I don't see a lot of men making posts on social media speaking to their brothers.
No,
about leading in that empowerment.
You just haven't tapped into it.
Yeah, because it's a whole manosphere that of
am I not Facebook friends with both of you? Am I not Facebook friends with both of you? And when I read your posts, I don't
say that again.
I'm Facebook friends with both of you.
Okay, what happened?
Daniel and Cleveland, I am Facebook friends.
What happened?
And what's your comment?
Say what? What happened? You said that to say what?
And I get not see you speaking out to your brethren.
Listen, Mo.
But that's what I just said.
This platform is for that.
No, that's what this is for. That's what we do on here.
Facebook is not for me to try to correct you.
No, not Facebook. No, that's what this podcast is for, man.
I call it the Book of Faces. I don't call it Facebook. I call it the Book of Faces.
No, I'm on Facebook for family.
Okay, I got you. So that's your reason too. So that could be that's what I'm saying. I don't see it from a lot of men. So whatever reasons you have for not doing it, there may be many other men who have the same reasons, but yet there are plentiful, an insurmountable number of men who are willing to always address Black women and how we should be carrying ourselves and what we should be doing.
Listen,
this platform, this is what this is for.
I understand, but can we just stay on that topic? And can you tell me what you're saying?
Mo, here's the thing, Mo. Here's the thing.
What did you say?
No, I'm saying can we agree, or are you saying that you see otherwise? Is what I'm saying. Can we address that? That men in the Black community often publicly shame, comment, and try to correct Black women. But there are very few Black men in the community who are doing the same thing to their brothers, whether in a public forum as well. I
don't agree with that, Mo. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Okay,
so you see. So let me explain to you. Let me explain to you why.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain to you why. We, as men, we check each, even like the other day in the barbershop. Just the other day in the barbershop. What did you say?
You messing with me?
You gonna turn her whole back around because she disagree with her. Don't be turning your back on her.
Don't get mad because Mo got y'all in the hot seat.
You already done put your dog.
One minute, Daniel and Cleveland. Let me have a little girl chat. Was I talking about barbershop? Was I talking about barbershop? Okay, never mind. Go ahead, Cleveland.
No. What my thing is, what I was saying is, men, we do. This is what we do. We have these conversations, even just on the basketball court, even just in the barbershop, just in general. We have these conversations.
Can we reroute for a moment?
Let me say this before we go any further. Hold on. Let me say this before we go any further. Mm-hmm. Let me explain something to you about men. And I will say, I got to give you kudos, Mo, because you kind of move like a guy a little bit, but that ain't the point. What I'm trying to say is this right here. Because men, what you have to understand is steel sharpens steel. And when I'm saying that is, you got like Cleveland, myself, we're not going to hang around the guys that you're describing. So they're not going to be in our circle. Now, do this circle exist? This circle will always exist. This circle always going to exist where you got the pack of guys that's out there on the chase, on the hunt. That's what they do. Now, if they try to come into our circle, they will see how we're moving, how we're talking, and then they will see, okay, well, Either they're gonna say, I'm gonna get my shit together and hang with these guys, or they just gonna gracefully and just stay with the circle that they're already in. You see what I'm saying? So they're not gonna come into the circle where the guys are doing something that they're not doing. It's always normally when you see a pack of guys, when you see one, they all of them pretty much the same type of guy. They just got different names.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me now.
And we when I tell you it's a manosphere out there of men that actually hold each other accountable.
Clee, hold on a second. Keish got something she want. Get it off your chest. What you got to say?
I'm just listening. I'm listening. Go
Look,
ahead.
you look like you just got something to say.
I'm listening right now. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Did you agree? Did you agree? I didn't hear that part. Now that's another thing.
I don't know.
You don't agree enough
in your circle, but I mean, if that is the case, that
you don't agree enough. That's another thing y'all don't do. Y'all don't agree enough.
And y'all don't
So this is the thing.
Now I understand what you're saying, Daniel and Cleveland, about your circles. However, you're doing a podcast and you know other men and you hear the conversation because somehow y'all did a whole podcast on the bonnets. So the bonnets came from social media conversations. You had to know that somehow. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
And so for that to come about, that's a correcting of Black women in the Black community, right? And even if Monique was the one y'all pivoted off of, there were many Black men creating commentary on that. You see what I'm saying? And that's just an example that I'm trying to give you.
What is the problem?
I'm not saying it's a problem. People have every right to voice their opinion. I'm saying I don't see Black men doing that to Black men. Like when they're like when
we have a whole manosphere that does this.
Keep watching this show.
We have a whole manosphere this is what they do. This is what they talk about. They talk about what men should be doing as far as
there's nobody exempt. So we're not trying to single nobody out. I think what it is when it's brought to your attention, it's like it's always trying to get deflected. The question is, as far as the Monique thing concerned, even though we're jumping subjects, is that a problem in our community? The answer is yes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Everybody.
I'm gonna say it for the guys. Since we're gonna go back, I'm gonna just push it back for the guys with the sagging pants. And I've said this several times on this show about the sagging pants or whatever.
We talked about men don't want to give up the street life.
Men don't want to grow up. We talk about it.
We talked about that.
Men don't want to be. They don't want to get older.
So can we talk about the fact that this problem that you're thinking is an issue with traditional versus modern? Women aren't the ones solely who welcome and ushered in the modern man who you guys are calling like sits at home and doesn't work or whatever else you said it was. You see what I'm saying? Or doesn't want to be responsible or doesn't want to compete in the workforce. That is also an issue that you all have to address with one another. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do.
That we birth. I don't believe that's something that we solely birth. That's like the battle of the sexes conversation we had, where everybody is equally responsible. That's just my take on it.
Most of these modern men come from single family homes. Most of these modern men come from single
woman becomes single by herself. Does she become?
And
single?
that's what I was just about to say, Mo. Thank you. Y'all show us about that. So how did she become a single parent?
Yes. She became a single parent because either one, she didn't marry the father, or two, the father is not in her life no more. I mean, it's not in the kid's life.
Okay, but the traditional man, wouldn't he have married her?
No. Because
you're a traditional man.
She was a straight.
We're talking about.
What you say, Daniel?
This goes back.
Ain't nobody
say she was straight.
Come on, ain't nobody married no straight. Come on now.
You know all single parents don't.
But she good enough to have your baby. She's good enough to lay down with you and have your baby, but not good enough to marry.
They acting like single parentings are just people who never were married. They're women who are divorced.
I never said that. I never said that. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Black and white. We can't look at it.
80% of the kids are coming from single family household where the woman was not married. I mean, and this is the thing.
The
like,
was not married either, though. Again, Cleveland, you can't just put the onus on the woman in that.
I'm not putting.
But that's what it sounds like. All the blame is going towards the woman. It's our fault that they're now martyr men. It's our fault that some men want to stay at home and work because we took over. Lord have mercy, we took over all the goddamn jobs, got educated, we want to work, and we making more money. It's just our fault. Our fault. When are y'all gonna? When is the black man gonna be accountable for knocking us up or doing anything? When you gonna be accountable? Where these traditional men is? Where they at? Cause we looking for them. Where they at? Where they at?
Really? I didn't say that.
Then that's y'all answer for everything. Well, I didn't say that. That ain't my baby. I ain't do that.
No, I didn't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
she a straight.
No.
Yada yada yada.
Listen, it comes down to a percentage, whether it's 10%, 5%, or whatever percent, men or women are responsible for this. Can we agree that we have to work? It has to be some work, and we have to do it together. That's the key. We have to do this together. We have to. Yeah. Whether it's 10% of men, or 90% of men, or 5% of women, and 95% of men, we have to do this together. And the problem is,
I do agree with that, and I also agree with whether the mother is a single parent or not. Then, in order for these children to grow up in a good environment and be a good person, whether then these fathers need to step up and be fathers to their kids, Erica, whether they with their mother or not.
I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you, Erica. Are you a straight or domesticated?
I'm a little of both.
You're a lie. You're domesticated.
And she's married.
No, I'm a little bit of both. And we've had this. Daniel, don't do that. Don't try to show out because Mo and Keisha on the phone. Don't.
I had to put her on mute. I had to put her on mute. I had to put her on mute.
Listen, Erica, you don't move like you astray. You do not move like a stray.
Erica, putting on. Let me tell you something.
Okay, so wait a minute. Are you saying that we move like we're strays?
Huh?
Cleveland, is that what you're saying? That we move? Erica doesn't, but we move like we're strays?
Yeah. I would say yes. See,
I don't know you.
Yes,
I don't know y'all like
you
that.
even said you do. You even said you did.
There's a negative connotation on this stray, though. That's what I'm saying.
Erica, I explained to you what stray. Erica, name one thing you consider yourself as a stray.
Yeah, I put her on timeout. She just keep over talking me.
You ain't my damn daddy. You can't put me on that. So number one.
I'm done.
Erica, listen. Name one thing you would consider yourself a stray as.
Let me.
She's not domesticated. She need to cut her stuff out. I'm talking about Erica. Erica can cut her stuff out.
What I'm gonna say. Look, I'm just saying. Okay, let me say for real. So, like, because we've had this conversation before, is where I have certain traditional things that I do as a married woman, but I think that's just how I was raised. Even when I was single, I moved, like how Cleve said, as if I was already married or at least, with someone or whatever like that.
Right.
But so explain to me again as far as the straight thing, because I don't do 100% everything traditional or whatever.
Yeah, so
I don't think in today's time that we do.
Hold on, Clay. Hold on. What's for dinner today?
What's for dinner today?
No, I'm asking Erica. This is for Erica.
Oh.
What did you cook today?
What's going to be for dinner today?
Yes, what's on the menu? Yes.
Well, my husband, he eats salads every night. That's his for his diet or whatever that he does. So I make him his spinach salad, and the rest of us will probably have some salmon Alfredo with some steamed broccoli and some garlic toast on the side, if that's okay with you.
It sound like domesticated. Sound like she domesticated me.
Okay, but I cook anyway. I cook when I was single.
Broccoli. Does that mean that I'm more traditional now?
Like, we all got the same food today.
What difference does that make, y'all?
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would do that anyway, whether I had a husband or not. I cooked anyway. When I was single, I cooked. Yes, I did.
Sure. I'm not saying.
Cleve know that. Cleve know I cook. I cook anyway. I clean. I cook. I clean. I work. That's 3 main things I've always done from beginning to time. And I wash clothes. Now do I run my husband bath water? No.
I do not. I'm gonna talk. Put him on the show. I'm gonna talk to him. You don't run some bath water.
No, I'm listen, ladies. I don't straight to me is it can look bad, but today in modern women, I think the thought as how men look at it, we look at it is not a good thing, because I don't think you can come back from it. Once you get a certain age, you can't come back from being a straight. That's why when y'all say you turn it off and on and off and on, I don't understand that. That's just me.
A straight is a single person that's just basically not married and they just do whatever they want to do. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's how he defined it. Like, it can be that you're loose as well, but I feel like if you can't, he's saying domesticated is married or whatever. That's why I feel like you can be in between, because you can be single and have your own schedule because you're not married. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, put yourself on a schedule for what reason? When you're single, you can travel at will. You know what I'm saying? You can do those things at will. A lot that does not make you a person that men do not want to marry or date, just because you have free reign over your schedule as a single woman. You know what I'm saying? And then as a domesticated woman, there are some women who still will travel with the girls, have girl trips and stuff like that. So you can be a mixture of both. Because y'all said domesticated was, what was it? It was something Cleveland was saying, you were saying earlier about,
I think there's no age limit on this straight thing then, right? Or is there?
He was described as like a homebody. I'm like, every woman who's married is not going to be a homebody, or yeah. So it doesn't. You don't have to be that extreme. Is what we're saying.
No, my meaning of stray is, like I was saying, just you're moving like you're single. If you're in a relationship now, if you're single, then hey, stray away.
But that's the thing, though. You can't. You can't say it's a stray just because. I guess you can call it whatever you want to. However, it should not. You said that men don't want that. You can't come back from it. You can go from being single to marry at any age in life, and it happens all the time.
I'm not talking about.
I didn't say
I'm
that.
talking about.
You couldn't come back.
Huh? Say it again.
Who couldn't come back?
I didn't hear what she said.
I'm asking the question: can strays come back? I didn't say strays cannot come back. I'm asking you guys.
It gets to a certain point where I don't think they can come back.
It is a point of return, though.
Why not?
There is a point of return.
Huh?
Yeah. We're telling you.
So you said
because everybody got to pay. Everybody done probably did something. So I mean,
because a man,
nobody perfect.
When you get to a certain point, and you want to be in a relationship or get married or whatever, it's a certain point where a man is gonna look at that and be like, yeah, I don't want no part of that. I just don't.
Okay, but what if the man been out there like that?
Part of a single woman, or part of what part of the stray? Because you said it wasn't negative earlier. What part of the stray does not a man want if it's not negative?
Say that again.
You said being a stray is not a negative thing. So what part of a good thing doesn't a man want? Because you're saying men don't want strays, but you said earlier that being a stray is
body count.
So that's one element. Everybody who's single doesn't have a high body count.
I'm
what
not
about the man?
Listen, you said name something. That's something. That's something. You said name something. You said name something, right?
Hold on.
Let's go back to a personal level. You said me and Monifa move like we are straight. You have no idea what our body counts are.
I didn't say. She said name something. She didn't say name the only thing. No, that's not.
So what makes us move like strays? Because we travel a lot, because we eat out more than
or
you
said we move like. So how are you? putting us in that category.
I never said y'all move like straight. You said what? Hold on. You asked me. I said Erica does not move like a straight.
Right, and then after that, I said, so are you saying that Monique and I move like straight? And you said yes. So what?
So let me say this. So if I said that, let me say this. Let me say this, lady.
It's okay to say it. Hey, listen, y'all. As of right now, you guys are strays.
Listen.
Well, what makes us straight?
Because y'all are out here dating multiple.
Okay, but that don't mean they laying down with everybody they dating.
How do you know? How do you know that? You asked me that I didn't know.
Time out.
You have to explain that to me.
Erica.
I have not dated multiple people in months. I have not either. One person.
I can hear you, Dan.
So this is not your straight season.
Well, what the hell, Emma?
What the hell?
Let's rename this.
No, real talk. It's not a negative. Some ways it can be negative. And men sometimes we look at it as a negative connotation as far as being a straight.
If you're living a single life, you are straight. Listen to what I'm saying. If you're living a single life, if you're dating more than one person, you are straight. Period.
And this is the thing. There are men who understand that dating two men or whatever does not make a woman not undesirable to them. Yes, there are some men, those same men who don't want to compete for a job, feel like they can't compete. They feel like they have to compete in a relationship when it's not even a really competition. It's just people getting to know one another. You see what I'm saying? Going on to know one another. So in that sense, too, you cannot say that those people are at a point of no return simply because they're dating multiple people. You know what I'm saying?
And you're throwing a whole huge population away based on what you're saying there.
No, what I'm saying is what I'm saying is no return, meaning a man. If a man see,
hold on, Cleveland, Daniel.
Daniel,
you kind of muffled a little bit.
There is.
If he take his mouth off the entire microphone,
there is a point of no return. But before I get started, let me get Erica right fast. Let me get her right fast. You made your husband salad. He didn't make your food. You made his food. You domesticated. Now let me talk back to my two lovely strays.
What did he say? What did you say?
I said you made him salad. He didn't make your salad.
A caretaker who does it all the time. Like, are we gonna break this on?
But you know why? You know why I do that?
Because you're domesticated.
Do you know why?
Because you're domesticated.
That doesn't necessarily mean I'm domesticated. That was because I was taught a long time ago.
It's okay.
And it's fine. I mean, if you want to call, it sure is. It sure is. And that's why I'm 15 years in the game. It sure is. It is just fine.
You're not
but the reason why, let me just explain why Kelly,
I got
Kelly, not the thing off.
So strays don't cook dinner for the guy they're dating.
Say that again.
Are you saying strays don't cook dinner? Since you got to be one or the other, what is a stray that cooks dinner for the man that she's dating?
Now you're trying. Okay.
He just messing with me, y'all. He just messing with me.
What now? He said, "What now? What did you say, Daniel?"
You ready? Okay, you ready? So if you break that back right, you gonna go in that kitchen anyway.
No.
Well, no, because I still gotta eat. But anyway,
I didn't bite my tongue.
Where you going? But anyway, I do that because that's what I would do anyway, because that's what I saw.
Erica, we done with you. We're talking to the other two ladies.
Listen, when I say women can't come back from straight, as far as how men look at it, just how they betray themselves. You know, you got ladies out here and men, you got men and ladies who out here just like I said, adding up their body count.
There is a point.
Men are too.
For the record.
See, y'all so quick to sit here and say what women doing, but y'all don't never say what y'all doing. But it's okay. It's okay. Because every time y'all open out y'all mouth, a bone fall out. So that's okay. It's all right.
Listen, we understand it's things that men can do that women can't do. That men can't do. Hey, pretty girl.
He said, "Hey, pretty girl."
Erica, the show says strays versus
She a stray.
You're not jumping.
Jasmine a stray
because
because she's single. Clearly, because I was listening.
It's already
I'm a stray.
enough.
So Jasmine said she a stray because she said she was kind of listening. So since she's single and out here living her best life and traveling out of town, going on her trips and making her money and dating multiple people or whatever, so you a stray, boo boo, I guess, till you get the message.
Okay. Okay.
Cleveland, why you say
They had to explain it to me.
That's what he said.
That's what it said, girl.
Because that's the way.
Oh, look, she said that must be an old people thing because she said they just call it dating. So she said you dating when you getting to know somebody. Same thing Monifa was saying. So
I know, but you know, if it make them sleep at night, they can let them be straight.
I don't know, child. Just let these men have it, because we to blame for everything in the world.
Hey, I gave you one of the meanings of what I mean about straight. Now everything else that y'all adding on to, I don't know about. Dating to me, dating is. Listen to me. Dating
was already going on. Oh,
you can date without your body count going up. I mean, you could date without your body count going up. I mean, you can.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
So to me, I'm not saying that's a stray because people date. I'm talking about one of the ways that men look at it as a stray is your body count. That's one of the ways.
But how do they know your body count until you tell them?
I'm glad that, you know.
That's your perception. You have no idea. I just think we need to stop putting people in these boxes.
Yeah.
It is not white. There's a lot of gray space in between. You just can't do that.
Why we put everything in boxes? We put
but you shouldn't. That's what I'm saying.
But you shouldn't, because everybody don't fit in a box.
That's the part of being in a first world country. That's what we did.
No, because hold on, because there was a black spade and a red. But look, Daniel created a brown one. So all we gotta say is
right now.
You know what I'm saying? There's something in between. And that's all.
Then you're gonna flip out that chair. If he fall back in that chair one more again. Just one more again.
You can't say anything about
He's wearing a beautiful chocolatey brown spade.
That is not in any of my deck of cards.
None. And yet we walking with
it is.
Brown spade has a meaning. It's
just how you look at it. It's how you look at it.
And it's rare to be in between that spectrum that you're calling the domesticated and the what else, the strays. There's a whole plethora of beauty in between that.
Again, we're not saying there aren't
willing to pour in your
There's some beautiful strays.
You said what?
There are beautiful strays.
We're just saying we acknowledge the brown spade. You can acknowledge that there is something other than all the way straying, the negative connotation, and the domesticated. There's something.
We're not saying it's negative. You guys taking it as a negative.
He basically said, if it's positive, why would a man not want it?
I gave you one reason why a man don't want it. I gave you one reason.
Give me the reason
why a man would
want a stray.
I'm not saying it's a negative connotation. I didn't say that.
Okay, so that's good. So give me a reason why a man wants a stray, since it's positive, and that was just one negative connotation. What are the reasons men would want a stray?
Well, you got some men some men don't want to get married, so they want to be around with somebody that's just dating, not even, I won't say dating, but just straying around. You got some men, that's what they want to do. It's not a high percentage.
That you don't have any man in your life that you know that married a woman who was dating more than one man when they met.
Say that again.
Are there any men that you know that, or have heard of, that dated a woman that was dating more than one man, and then they ended up marrying her? So you're saying you never heard of that happening? You don't know anybody in that space?
I'm going to say
pretty
this.
Sure it is, but what percentage of that happened? What percentage of that happened?
If I'm dating somebody, when I was out there dating, I wouldn't let. It wasn't like she was dating 2 or 3 guys, and I'm like knowing it, and accepting it. No, hell no, not me.
Did you ever ask though? Did y'all ever ask, or did y'all just? Well, I know Cleveland's situation is different, but there's a lot of men who never asked that, but they married women who dated, like had a date with them on one weekend and had another date with somebody else, and then you just came out on top.
In the beginning, it probably starts off that way. In the beginning, it may start off that way, but see, here's the nature of a lot of women. I'm gonna say this: a woman, when she's interested in a guy, then she's gonna show the one she like. If let's say a woman is dating 3 guys, just for an example, she will gravitate toward the one she liked the most, even though this one may have something she liked, the other one may have something she liked, but the one she really gelling with, the one she really got good chemistry with, he's gonna get most of the attention. So the other phone calls are gonna start slowing down. And every time they call her, she's gonna start brushing them off slowly, and she's just gonna gravitate toward that guy. Now, y'all know I'm telling the truth on this right here. You know,
well,
so
that is true.
That's how women are. You know, with guys,
that is the case.
With guys, and that's why I keep trying to let Erica know we're not the same. We're not the same, because we could date all 3 of them and knowing we got feeling for one of them and still treat them all 3 the same.
And that's what I was just about to say. Y'all can leave the other 2 still hanging on for no reason when you know that good and hell well that you don't want to deal with them other 2 in the first place.
I'm just telling you the difference, you know. But anyway, that's my point of saying what I'm saying. So what other question you got?
My point was, what you said is a possibility. You're still saying though that the strays with the negative connotation is
no, you gave it a negative connotation.
No, we asked you what the strays, how you define it.
I said strays. Strays are aimlessly moving from one group to another one, or to the right course, or a different place. Meaning you're going to be moving around from different people. So this, and what I'm talking about, what I'm referring to is, again, if you're single and you're out here dating more than one guy, you're straight. If you're not, then you're not a stray. Now,
so basically, you're a straight if you're single and you out here laying down with every guy that you're dating. You're multiple dating people. If you're dating 2, 3, 4 people at one time and you're messing with all of them, but if you're just dating, but then if you're not messing with anybody, you're just a regular stray. You're a regular stray if you're not sleeping with them. And you're
straight.
Yeah.
A stray is a stray.
It's level to this straying thing, y'all.
So basically, you want a man to say, "Oh, well, no, she's on straight level 3." Shit, no, I want straight level 3.
I've never dated multiple, and I've never dated multiple people. I couldn't.
Me neither.
That's you, though.
It's too much of a headache.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying I've never dated multiple people. So as far as my definition of what a stray is a person dating multiple people at the same time. I mean,
well, I don't know if this is a newsflash, but I don't date multiple people either. So you defining me as a stray?
I'm not. Listen, listen. I'm not. Listen, I'm just trying to get y'all hype.
I got your back, please. She's a stray. I got your back. You're a stray.
I got your back, Keisha Mo. Don't be scared of Daniel. Ain't nobody scared of Daniel.
We ain't scared of Daniel either.
I want to see you outside, Daniel.
Listen,
let me break it down for you, Cleve. We got 2 strays and a possible.
Hey, that sound like a game of spades.
Right, exactly. And we got a king and a joker over there.
No, we got a big joker and a little joker.
Oh my goodness, boy!
Oh, y'all said,
oh man! You know what? I knew this was gonna be fun. I knew it was gonna be a sketchy subject, and that's why you know, we decided we were gonna do this show. You know, when I told you, I knew it was gonna be funny. I knew it was gonna take us there.
I called Cleveland when he texted me the topic. I was like, "What you mean?"
I did. I'm like, huh? What?
Like, I normally pick up, but what you mean by this?
We still came out here confused.
All right, y'all. We done passed. We like 1 hour and 23 minutes. And every time you notice, every time we get them on here like this, we just go. We can just continue. That's why I love having them on here.
Yeah.
We passed an hour. It's been a pleasure having you guys. Let me say that. Nice meeting you, Keish. Hopefully you come on. Hopefully you come on. And
this one.
we will have different subjects, so you can feel free.
Y'all come up with a topic that y'all want to talk about.
Even if we're talking about men stuff, you guys can. You're welcome. You're more than welcome. Just let us know. Yeah,
and y'all could come up with topics. Just dealing with things that we deal in the community. If y'all want to talk about it,
if it's a selectable topic.
And I like this reunion. This is fun for real. This is cool. Thank you all for having us.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel, for having me back. I guess you're gonna excuse me now, so I can go cook dinner for my mind.
Hey, now I want you to thank you. It was a pleasure having you on here as well. Make sure you run that bath water, okay?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. Believe me, what I do, he appreciates. So
you gonna run that bath water? I bet you run that bath water.
No, I do not. I wash his clothes, but I don't run no bath water.
Okay. So in closings, we always have our final words. So I don't know which one of you guys want to start first, whether it's our sister Erica or our sister Moa Keish. Which one of you guys want to go first? We always want to have some final words.
I'm gonna let y'all have it. I don't really have too much to say this time, ironically.
I can't believe it.
Believe it or not.
All right, what you got?
Well, again, thank you guys for having me here. I just think in closing, we all have things we have to say. But I think if we continue to move and place people in these rigid boxes and not see them as who they are as a whole, we're missing things. It's all about connection here. Getting to know people where they are. And I think we could be a better place after that.
Yeah, I'll piggyback onto that as well and say, my goal is just to diminish. Why y'all look like that? So I'll piggyback and say my goal is always to diminish the divide between the Black woman and the Black man, to increase the love between the two. So communication is one of those ways. Relating and knowing how to relate is one of those ways, and listening to each other's different perspectives and coming to a common ground bit by bit. So we're gonna get there. I'm working with y'all, working on y'all. So that's my thing. Is I just want to encourage people to have these conversations, even if they get a little, back and forth. It's still good talk. It's still good.
It's all good. It's all about, Go ahead, Cleveland. I'm not talking to you. Go ahead.
I would like to say I appreciate y'all, ladies. I mean, I enjoy y'all coming on. Y'all silly. Anyone listening, please go hit the like button, subscribe, share.
Yes.
But I will say this. For me, I definitely think we need to have these conversations a lot more. Because we like, two separate, thought process. And I understand that we gonna disagree on some things, but at the same time, we can agree to disagree, and we could come up with some solutions on how we can actually have these conversations and kind of meet each other halfway. Because, men, how we talk, majority of the men, this is how they think, and how y'all talk, majority, that's how women think. And we gotta come together and start having these conversations and come up with some answers. And we could do that. We could definitely do that. This platform is made for this.
Well, in closing, I just want to say it's been one hell of a party to have Domesticated and Strays all at one time. That was one hell of a party. No. But seriously, all jokes aside. I love to have these conversations. These conversations are good. We need to have good communication. We need to talk more. We need to discuss more about men and women, how we think, and what's going on in today's society, and try to uplift each other. So I do agree with Mo on that. Mo, she has a very valid point. But that's what this platform is about. We're about uplifting people. We're not trying to bash anybody. We're just raising questions. And sometimes we might, throw out the word stray just so we can kind of get your attention so you can bite it. You kept biting. You didn't want to let go, It's like a bait and it just had you. And so, and it was good because it raised awareness. It raised conversation. And so with that being said, we got something. To me, we got something accomplished. We're not finished, but again, this is the beginning of good conversation. And again, we have a new part of the family, Miss Keys. So continue to come on, and let's keep this thing going. We're just trying to uplift each other. We're not here to bash women. We're not here to bash men. We're here trying to be a good example as men. We're trying to be a great example as Black men. And at the same time, we need strong sisters to be right there beside us. On that note, we out.